Good deal.
So, welcome everyone to the Discover Arbonne tonight. I'm here with Dr. Kris Gast from Arkansas, and I'm Angela Mederos here in the Alexandria, Virginia area. And we're really excited tonight to talk about a business and some products that truly have changed our lives. And so not only are we passionate about these amazing products, but we're also passionate about the global business that we are growing. And so tonight, here with Dr. Gast, we're both going to really just shortly share why we decided to build an Arbonne business. But Dr. Gast is going to really talk about our 30-day clean eating challenge that has positively affected so many lives. And then I am going to jump in with one of the things that I love most about Arbonne, which is the business opportunity. And so with that, I'd like to introduce Dr. Kris Gast from Fort Smith, Arkansas. She is a mother, a wife, an oncologist, and I truly have to say she's also a pet lover. So you might see some of her cats jumping in and out of the video as well. And so with that, Dr. Gast, take it away.
Thank you, Angela. Yeah, it's great to see everybody come in tonight and listen. I think Angela is probably the most motivational person that's helped me through my challenge and my journey so far. And you really will probably see cats. I mean, I'm not promising, but they're kind of hovering. So it's going to give everybody a warning. If the thing just flops over and I'm gone, you'll know what happens. But so as she said, I'm an oncologist in Fort Smith, Arkansas, which is really the Midwest. I joined Arbonne after my sister-in-law, who is also my sponsor, but she lives in Germany. She brought me some samples and said, I think you should try these. You might really like this product line. I know you're already gluten-free, which I had become gluten-free about 4.5 years prior to that because I had determined that gluten was a trigger for my fibromyalgia. So when I took the samples and I tried them and I really liked them, and I had anticipated kind of using them as part of a weight loss program for some of our patients. But as I was doing the 30-day challenge and things were like returning to the way I remember feeling in my 20s, where I had energy and I felt good and I slept good, and I suddenly woke up and I was like, this is not just for my weight loss patient. This is not weight loss at all in that respect. This is just something that's going to take people who are feeling sick and down and just unhealthy and just turn them around. And I did a second challenge the next month, and I had a number of my breast cancer patients join me. It was October, so we did it for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And being a scientist and a doctor, and I wanted to be able to show them that they'd had improvement, not just maybe on the scale, but in their lab work, and the things that we could measure that were health related. So we drew their lab before and after the 30-day. We drew cholesterol panels, the hemoglobin A1C, which is your 3-month measurement for your blood sugar. So that's the number that all diabetics kind of track, because their doctors always know if they've cheated because it measures 3 months prior. We check their kidney function and their liver tests. And we found that there were a number of patients that were pre-diabetic and they did not know it. And at that point in time, we had about 20 people that had done the 30-day and finished it. And we had some initial numbers, which really seemed that there was a lot going on in terms of the health benefits from it. The pre-diabetic patients were no longer diabetic. People's cholesterols dropped, anywhere from 10 to, I think our highest was like 80-something points. And that was a good percentage of the patients had a drop in their cholesterol. We were talking like 75% had a drop of anywhere from 20 to 80 points. So we kind of kept adding people to the pile. Anybody that came in straggling didn't really, want to do it in October. And we did another kind of group in January. And now we've got 35 that have finished. And it's actually gone up in terms of the percent that have had improvements in their cholesterol. And we've actually had a couple of true diabetic patients try the program. And the two that have been on there that are, full-blown diabetics using metformin, insulin, glipizide, whatever they're, supposed to be using. All of them had significant drops in their hemoglobin A1C. And you have to remember that's a drop after only 1 month. And that's a 3-month measurement. So they had 1 good month and 2 bad months, but it still dropped it. And some of the ones that were diabetic dropped into the pre-diabetic range. And we had one lady that did not even know she was diabetic. And here we're like telling her, well, we got some bad news and some good news. You don't have to start with pills right away or insulin right away. Let's try this and see if we can get you back on track. And she did. She dropped from being diabetic into pre-diabetic. And she is on day like 39 of her 30-day challenge because she feels so much better and she's doing it. So the lab values really were phenomenal, having an 80% rate of 20 points down to, I think our highest drop was 135 points in their cholesterol. I'm like, good grief, that person was, that's crazy in terms of a 30-day drop. Most people lost some weight, I usually lose about 6 pounds a month while I'm doing a real focused cleanse. And we had a couple people lose 15 and one lost 20. But that wasn't really the thing that was most important for them. It was just they were feeling so much better. And these are patients that, a quarter of them were men. We have people that range from 22 to 92. Yes, I have a 92-year-old consultant on my team now. But it was just phenomenal benefits for them. And for some of our breast cancer patients, they had, nerve damage, peripheral neuropathy from their chemotherapy. And we got some very unexpected results in that group of patients, in that they started feeling their feet again after, 10 years of having this neuropathy. They could feel their feet, their legs were working better. Our one patient that had macular degeneration, it actually got better that month. And that was verified by, an ophthalmologist who didn't have a clue what she was doing, doesn't know what we do, but he was like, well, you don't need a shot this month. It's gotten better. And I was like, did he ask you what you were doing? It got better. That's like never happens, right? You just hold it steady. So she's become quite a little cheerleader for it. But it was just one of those things that now we'll end up, we've got 5 more patients that will be finishing up in the next week or 2. So we'll have a total of 40 patients that have done the 30-day challenge. And I think the change in, the people having to go off their blood pressure medicines, taking patients that are on metformin and being able to get them off their metformin, watching people's neuropathy get better. My fibromyalgia is gone. It actually completely went away when I ended up moving everything that I put on me as gluten-free and organic as well. Didn't dawn on me for a while that, oh yeah, I'm putting stuff on my skin, don't know what's in it. But when I went and used all of the products in terms of it being organic and gluten-free, I have no trigger points. And you talk to anybody that has fibromyalgia, and they won't believe you, but you can tell them, I have no trigger points anymore. So, all of those things just, that's really helped launch us to really reach out and help people and touch them and tell them, hey, there's another way to eat. And now we have a couple of these ones on this last run have irritable bowel syndrome. They've had it since they were teenagers. They go out to dinner, they have to make sure they have a bathroom they can get to after dinner. And they're having changes within 48 hours. I had one come back the second day and say, okay, I want to be the poster child for this because I have not pooped today. And I'm like, yay! You're like, okay, well, I'm a doctor. We talk about poop and pee all the time. That's the way it goes. But it's just been such a life changer for me that I wanted to just try and help as many people as I can, because all the people that I see now, friends, family, neighbors, everybody just keeps getting sicker and sicker and feeling worse and worse. And it's been such a gradual change, they'll mostly chalk it up to, oh, I'm getting old. I'm like, you're only 55, you're not old. So it's been a great opportunity for me to be able to help my patients.
That's exciting. And the one thing I love about our 30-day clean eating challenge, which is a mix of real food, right? We're teaching people how to eat
right
with real food, just incorporating our nutritional shakes and our detox products. But what I love about what we're doing is we're really teaching people maintenance and lifestyle changes.
Exactly. And that's another good point, Angela, because I mean, most people, you give them a list and say, okay, here's the things you need to look for on the boxes when you go to the grocery store. You know, non-GMO, organic, no sugar, no antibiotics, cage-free, grass-fed, you know, and they just kind of, their eyes just glaze over. You know, and then 30-day, what it essentially does is it allows you to eat and have energy and not be hungry while you learn about food and what you're actually eating. And so I always kind of say it's like a stepping stone that gives you the strength and the energy to be able to make that change to clean living all the way through and never have to worry about it again.
Well, I have to say it's been just a joy building a global business with Dr. Gast, with you in Arkansas. Kind of full disclosure to everyone, Dr. Gast and I have never actually met face to face, but we will.
We will.
in Las Vegas at our global training conference in April. But I have to say, one of the things that touched me about our relationship is a while back, she actually texted me and said, "You'll never know the positive impact you've had on my life." And I just thought, wow, you know, and that's exactly what Dr. Gast and I get to do. We get to positively impact people's lives because, you know, if you don't feel good, life is just no fun. And so, you know, the 30-day clean eating challenge is just part of the products that Arbonne does promote with our pure, safe, and beneficial philosophy. We have over 500 products, whether it's shampoos or deodorants or toothpaste, because as Dr. Gast said, one of the things many times we don't think about is not only are we eating through our mouth, we're actually eating, if you will, through our skin, because what we put on our skin is definitely going in. And so Dr. Gast and I, even though I don't have a medical degree, I get to be an advocate for good health and really teach and train people. We do get to teach and train people how to be the best they can be from the inside out. And then another exciting, you know, opportunity about what we're doing is we get to teach people how to build a strong six-figure income plus through Arbonne. And that's really what I'd like to share with you today. So I'm going to share my screen with you right now. And here we go. Let me see. I always say that I'm not the most technologically savvy person on the planet. Let's see, slideshow from the beginning. Here we go. So I just want to let you know just a little bit about my journey. It was actually 11 years ago when I owned a commercial and medical cleaning company that, and I had 500 employees, that someone from Nebraska asked me if I would take a look at this business. Not only did I have 500 employees, I actually had 5 kids. And so I really was not looking for anything else to put on my plate. And Arbonne really came to me in the way of our skincare products. But I have to say at the time I was really looking, because no matter if you own a medical practice like Dr. Gast or I owned a service business, things are changing. And, you know, the bottom line does not always look as good as it looks on the outside. And I was definitely a mom that was always looking to have fun and really looking for a way that I could leverage my time and have more time to spend with my family. And so I never did think it would come in the form of Arbonne, but it truly has. And before I could really take a really good look at Arbonne, I had to know that there was some really good money in it, because quite a few years ago, my husband and I took out a $2.5 million loan to buy this cleaning company. And we needed, if we were going to do something else, it had to be something that was going to produce a substantial income for myself and my family. And so I love sharing this compensation slide before we get started with some of the other information, because this is what really initially caught my attention. there's really only 4 levels of management in Arbonne. So there's 4 levels. And the first level is district manager. And at district manager, right away, within 3 to 6 months, people can be making anywhere between $250 to $1,000. And as a good friend of mine says, that's definitely better than a poke in the eye. And the next level, which was a level that excited me, is area manager. That's where the average income is anywhere between $1,000 to $4,000. And the thing that excited me about this level is actually willable. So if that just means if I pass away tomorrow, which I'm not planning on it, I have left a legacy for my 5 kids that no one can take away. And as a mom, that means the world to me. And that's a level that the average people get to in 18 months. I actually arrived there in 3. So these numbers to the right are just averages. Some people get there before, some people get there after. Regional Vice President, that's the level currently where I am. I'm actually an Executive Regional Vice President. At this level, the average is between 4 to 10,000 plus. The average time to get there is 32 months, and they actually give you $800 a month towards any white Mercedes you want to purchase or lease. And then the next level that I'm just knocking at the door at is National Vice President, and that's where the average income per month is $21,000, and then your car stipend actually goes up to $1,000. So at that level, I thought, wow, this is something that I really want to investigate more. And that's exactly what Dr. Gast and I would like you to do, is really sit down and look at this and see if this is a fit for you or not, because it really is tremendous in so many ways. But I have to tell you, when this all came my way, I had a lot of fears and concerns. And one of them was, it wasn't necessarily I don't have, and so one is, do I have enough time? And time is something that doesn't really, financially cost us anything, but it's really the thing that's worth the most. And I guess what I really found with Arbonne, if I could sacrifice more time now, I would then get it on the back end. And that's exactly what I've done, as I really now have the time and the flexibility to be anywhere I need to be when it matters the most. And that is something that you can't put a price tag on. I don't have enough money. Arbonne is $79 to start a business, plus then buying the products. And it really was more of a Snickers decision than a mortgage decision. The next one that people really look at is, I don't know enough people. And the great thing about that is, it's not necessarily who you know now, it's who you're going to meet. And that's a great example with Dr. Gast and I. We did not know each other, before all of this. The next 2, what will people think? That was a big one for me, as owning a company that served Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Children's Hospital. And what am I getting into? Those were things that crossed my mind. But the more I looked into Arbonne and the more I did my undercover investigation, the more everything about the Arbonne opportunity just screamed excellence. From our scientific advisory board with the Mayo Clinic on it, the University of California professors of dermatology, you name it. From our marketing materials, everything just screamed excellence, including obviously our products, which is really the real reason why we're all here. And just our philosophy of just plant-based products with the best of science and nature, the highest ingredients, vegan certified, dermatologist tested, not just approved, never tested on animals, and just all of our kosher certifications. And, it's not only important what we're formulated with, it's very important to really check to see what we're formulated without, in terms of no gluten, like Dr. Gast mentioned, or petroleum or animal byproducts, formaldehyde. We have always followed the European Cosmetic Directive, where there's 1,400 ingredients that are banned in Europe In the United States, we only ban roughly about 10. And so Arbonne's philosophy with all the products that we have in our catalog are just exceptional. And you really need to try them if you haven't. And I'm sitting here, frankly, because the skincare line produced results. Just like this lady has seen results with our products, our motto is that we're pure, safe, and beneficial. And that beneficial part is the results that are taking place. And what I love about Arbonne is, we don't follow the traditional business model. I remember with the cleaning company just stroking out a $7,000 check before we even, the month began to pay for the rent that we were in. And with Arbonne, you don't have that. But with a traditional business, you have all of the expenses. The high investment, which was something I had with the cleaning company. We had 500 employees, and many times I felt like we had 500 children, and just big overhead expenses from making our marketing materials ourselves, and just the brain work and the money that went into that, to just the long hours. I mean, even when my husband and I would go on vacation to Aruba, it seemed like Kaiser Permanente or one of our major clients would call and want to talk to the owners. And so Arbonne is, follows the network marketing model or the social marketing model. And it's just a very wise and savvy way to do business, because unlike this traditional business model where you have the manufacturer, the wholesaler, the warehouser, the sales force, the retail to the consumer, network marketing, as many of you may already know, just cuts out that big middleman, and our products go directly from the manufacturer to the end user. We are a no inventory company. Did I mention we're a no inventory company? That was huge for me to understand that I was not going to be delivering products, that when somebody actually went online and placed a product order, that product was going to seamlessly go from the manufacturer to them without touching my hands. Last night was the end of our sales cycle for the month. And when I laid my head on the pillow last night and woke up in the morning, my business had increased by $10,000. That's network marketing. That's leveraging your time. It's a very effective distribution system that gives you really lifestyle choices. Like right now, if I wanted to move wherever, my Arbonne business would just move with me because it's very portable. And another thing that I love about the business is consumable products, which we'll touch on a little bit more. But consumable products equals repeat orders, and repeat orders equals repeat income. And it's truly that leveraging of your time and building a team that's just working smarter and not harder. And who here wants to work smarter? Can I have a hand raised, right? So why Arbonne? Why now? I don't think we can touch on the importance of consumable products enough, because they say before we leave the house in the morning, we have used over 25 different products, from toothpaste to deodorant to shampoos to body washes to body lotions to protein shakes, you name it. And when those products are done, we reorder them. And the second reason why is the demand for health and wellness. Wow, we're living older. Everybody wants to feel better. Who doesn't want to look better, right? And there's just a very high demand for what we have. I mean, I know you've probably all seen in the grocery store people flipping the bottle over, flipping the shake bag over to really see what ingredients are in these products, because people are becoming they're becoming wiser consumers and really understanding that what we put in our mouth and what we put on our skin makes a difference. And so the ability to time leverage is just ingenious. It was John Paul Getty that said he would rather have 1% of 100 persons' time than 100% of one. because 100% of one, when something takes that one out, game over. I know a couple years ago, some of my team members know this, I herniated L4 and L5, and I'm going to tell you, I was out of the game. And my cleaning company really suffered for it. In fact, there really wasn't much growth during that 8-month period of time. But can I tell you, because I had built the leadership in my Arbonne business before that moment, my Arbonne business during that time doubled. Yes, it doubled. How exciting is that? You know, some people on my team have mentioned, you know, prepare for impact. We don't know what tomorrow may bring, but Arbonne is such a smart business model that really builds that residual income that's there for you if something does, you know, happen or hit you in your home. This next one, internet-based business. What are we all doing here now? From Nebraska to Atlanta to Arkansas to various places in the Washington, D.C. area. How exciting it is that we can conduct business right here and just, you know, share a very positive, amazing message, you know, perhaps in our pajamas. And, you know, just the power of that as we go global. And I'll touch a little bit on that as well right here. So Arbonne currently is in the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, Australia, Poland, New Zealand, Taiwan, and drum roll please, we are going this month into Germany. And that is exactly where Kris, Dr. Gast's sponsor is. Her sister-in-law is stationed there with the military, going to be there for 5 years. And it's exciting. It's really our gateway to the rest of Europe. And just now with our partnership that with our new partner who's now has touch points in 100 of the 196 nations in the world, Arbonne is just going to continue expanding globally. And can I tell you, unfortunately, I've never been to Canada, Australia, or Taiwan, but I have businesses in all of those places because of the network that I've made. It's been said that the next millionaires are really going to be people who make networks through home-based businesses. And that's exactly what this is. And so we have a very simple system for success. So I really would ask you to don't overcomplicate this. Really, we're using products already. And so we're just teaching and training people how to stop buying from the retail store and paying overhead and buy, in many cases, a much healthier, safer product and start using it and start sharing it with other people. It's really, truly that easy. But instead of sharing a good movie or sharing a good tip on where to go to a great restaurant and them never sending you a thank you check in the mail, when we do this with Arbonne, Arbonne sends us a thank you check. So I want to ask you right now, where do you see yourself? You know, we're glad you joined in with us tonight, if nothing else, to hear the message of good health. Because as Dr. Gast and I mentioned, these products truly are changing people's lives. So if anything, we would love for you to start trying our products because they truly are pure, safe, and beneficial. And for $29, you can join and become a preferred client, and that gets you a 20 to 40% discount. And you might even be open to hosting a Swiss spa event where we can come in and really share with your sphere of influence how people can truly be the best they can be from the inside and out. But Kris and I are also looking for global business partners. And you might say, wow, I don't know how to do anything you've just talked about. I don't know anything about skincare, anything about nutrition. Well, the exciting thing about what we're doing is you're truly in business for yourself, but not by yourself. There is the number one reason why people are successful with Arbonne. It's the number one reason, so everyone lean in, It's because they've followed the system that was already set out for them. Yes, we truly have a system that works. I know this unequivocally, that when you work Arbonne, Arbonne works. So for $79, you can start an Arbonne business, and it is our job to teach and train you how to do that. And so the last thing that we'd like to share with you is, many people have asked me, what are the odds? What are really like the odds of, me making it to MVP? And to quote one of my fellow consultants, Debbie Neal, she says, it's really the same company, the same product, and the same opportunity that people have with Arbonne. The only variable is you. So let me ask you, what are the odds of this being successful? And again, I just want to encourage you not to overthink this, and to just know that you truly are in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And the one question that really stuck with me 11 years ago when my sponsor asked me to take a look at this is, she said, if I keep on doing what I'm doing, where will I be in 5 years? And more importantly, will I be happy? So I don't know who's invited you on this call tonight, but I would love for you to get back to them and let them know your interest in Arbonne. And we'd like to qualify it in a scale from 1 to 10. If you're a 1, that means I've enjoyed the information, but I'm not interested in hearing about Arbonne again. And 10 actually means you're ready to join and build a global business with us. So if you just take a moment now and just text the person who either, had you come on this call right now, or you might be watching through a recording, and text them and let them know where you fall on the scale. If it's a 5 or a 6, we might ask you, what information are you missing to make that 6 a higher number? But with that, I want to thank you, and thank Dr. Gast for joining me to really tell the Arbonne story. So with that, everyone, have a great night.
Thanks, Angela.
Thank you, guys. And, Dr. Gast, I have a friend on, her name is Amy. Amy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
So I don't know, Dr. Gast, if you have a few moments, that Amy is a dear friend and an Arbonne consultant, and had a few questions. Is that correct, Amy?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I'm a cancer patient. I have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I'm currently doing chemo right now. And I'm doing the 30 days as best I can. Do you recommend doing the 7-day cleanse when you're on chemo, or you're actively doing chemo?
Okay, I recommend you wait until you're finished with all of your chemotherapy drugs, because it does have a record, if you will, when you look back through some of the other consultants that have posted. I mean, one nurse, it ended up pulling radioactive material out of her tissues. So, and I think with my cancer patients with their neuropathy, they were between 5 and 10 years out from their chemo. And so this was what we always say, oh, this is just, we've injured these nerves, they're not going to heal. They're going to be where they are at 6 months or a year, and that's it. But here we are, 5 and 10 years after, and they're starting to feel their feet again and move their legs better. And I'm like, this is not an injury. This stuff is still clinging to the nerves and irritating them. So when I have patients that want to do it, I tell them, use the protein, use the digestion plus, use the fizz sticks because of the energy level, but save that 7-day detox till, you're at least 30 days out.
Okay.
And then we recommend doing the detox twice a year. And I think most of the cancer patients that we've had are finding that that's a pretty good pattern so far. To do it any more than that, I think, is kind of hard. I don't know about anybody else, but I become the meanest bitch on the planet when I'm doing that 7-day. I'm just saying, my staff threatened me this last time and said, the next time you do this, take a week off.
Oh,
So
dear.
whatever you're pulling out of me, it must be pretty nasty.
What about also the detox tea? Is that something should hold on?
I think that's probably okay to drink. It's a little bit more mild. I
Okay.
think it has a little bit more to do with fluid retention and just kind of weight gain and loss than really pulling a whole lot of things out. And it's such a good go-to fluid because there's, taste to it, and it'll keep you
Right.
hydrated. You can drink it morning to night, and I actually put my citrus fizz stick in my tea because, I'm like, oh, kind of tea and a little citrus, but yeah, you should be okay doing that. But the detox, definitely, give it until you've been out 30 days. And I'm sure you'll grow all your hair back too.
I will. I actually am going to go get it trimmed tomorrow because it's getting a little
You look great.
unruly. And I have one more. On the skincare, using the Ultra device. Do you recommend doing that during chemo or not doing it during chemo weeks?
It should be fine to use. The technology that's behind that is a combination of ultrasound and heat. And ultrasound is just a different kind of form of energy in some respects, because it's energy waves, or sound waves essentially, that are just pushing product a little bit deeper into the tissues. And of course the heat is extremely therapeutic for the tissues just in general. So depending on how sensitive your skin is, probably the only thing that you might try, patch testing before you use it is the plant-based retinol, because that's probably, I bet that's the only harsh thing we have. And I've used plenty of retinol products, and I peel my whole face off, after one application, and I can use my retinol nighttime pads every day and it doesn't cause any problems. So
Okay.
I don't think the products are going to give you any trouble.
Right.
But I do think it's good for you to remember, unlike I did, took me forever, right, to remember that your skin is your second detox organ.
Right.
And it is your first largest organ, and it also will absorb everything that goes on it. So, when you get finished with all your chemo, a lot of the stuff, I think, really seems like it comes through the nails and the skin, and you really see what you've been through. Your nails will look like the rings of a tree in the sense of what you've been through. So, yeah, you shouldn't have any problems with the facial products or the ultrasound unit.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for the time.
No problem. Good
Any
luck.
other-
I hope to
any other
see you
questions?
soon.
Likewise.
Any other questions?
That's it.
Okay, great. Anyone else? Well, super. Well, thank you everyone for joining on. If there will be a recording of this, so I will post that on Great Things Happening Nation and some other places as well. So everyone have a super night. And again, thank you, Dr. Yass.
Thank you, Angela. I'll see you in April.
That sounds great. Super.
Bye-bye.
Good night,
Thank
everyone.
you very much.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night, Jen. Hey, I see you. Can you hear me? I think you're muted. Unmute. Hello? Good night. I think you probably don't have volume. Good night.